President, Mr. Peter Van Praagh, followed by some comments from our host, Minister Sajjan.
Welcome, everybody. I'm very pleased to be here with the Honourable Harjit Sajjan, Minister of National Defence of Canada. Thank you, Minister Sajjan. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you to the Government of Canada for your continued support of Halifax International Security Forum. You recognize from the very beginning the value of bringing the democratic world together to have frank and open conversations about our shared defense and security. Your commitment to this forum and your enthusiasm are some of the reasons for its continued success. Another one of our secret ingredients is the city of Halifax. Its energy, hospitality, and warmth instantly puts our delegates at ease, which makes it easier to find common ground. As we host the world here this weekend, I'm very conscious of two important anniversaries. One, I am proud to say that this is the 10th anniversary of Halifax International Security Forum. November 2018 is also the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I, the end of the war to end all wars. We will be talking about that anniversary and what it means throughout the weekend, throughout the course of the weekend. But 1918, looking at 1918 through a prism of 100 years is a good reminder of the cost of war. It is also a reminder of our solemn responsibility to protect our democracies. The work of democracy is never quite complete, and there will be a lot of work done this weekend. Today, over 300 participants have traveled from over 70 countries to join a select group of fellow democratic thinkers to have a real conversation about international security and the challenges facing our nations now and into the future. Before I turn things over to the Minister, I do want to say a couple of words of tribute for Senator John McCain. Senator John McCain came to this forum every year. It was an honor to host him, and we will miss him very much. He was a passionate supporter and promoter of what this forum stands for. He will be sorely missed, but his inspiration and his influence is felt in everything that we do. And I am very proud to let you know that Mrs. Cindy McCain will be with us this weekend to present the first annual John McCain Prize for Leadership in Public Service tomorrow, Saturday morning. And we're very proud of that. Welcome to the 2018 Halifax International Security Forum. I encourage you all to be part of the conversation by watching the live stream of our plenary sessions on our website, through Facebook Live, or on social media with the hashtag HISF 2018. Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Peter. Bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to Halifax. It's great to be back, and especially on behalf of the Government of Canada, I'm very proud to welcome you all to the 10th edition of the Halifax International Security Forum. And for me, this is my 4th time attending this forum as Canada's Defence Minister, and it's an honor to do so once again. So for a decade, HISF has been the place to discuss the global defense and security issues that define our times. The conversations are always lively, they're always relevant, and I would argue never more necessary than they are today. I want to express my sincere thanks to Peter and the entire HISF team for the excellent work that they've been doing to organize this world-class event year after year. Since last November, the international community has been focused on a number of significant defense and security issues, from the situation in Eastern Europe, to prospects for peace on the Korean Peninsula, to the conflicts in Syria and in Yemen. And certainly, how we can do peacekeeping differently and more effectively. This has been an issue of particular importance to Canada as we re-engage in peacekeeping operations. And I'm encouraged to see the global community building upon the commitments we made last year at the United Nations Peacekeeping Defense Ministerial in Vancouver. So far, 68 countries have stepped up to endorse the Vancouver Principles and the prevention of the recruitment and use of child soldiers. And I'm equally pleased to note that many countries in the international community are supporting the ELSI initiative, which is to increase women's representations in the military and their meaningful participation in peace support operations. in Canada is honored to be working with the global community on these initiatives, and in Mali as well, where we have deployed an air task force to MINUSMA. And last year at HISF, we spoke at length about the need for global cooperation to advance the cause of peace and security. And this year, I look forward to continuing our discussion on the many important topics that we will discuss in the next few days. And after looking over last year's agenda, I am once again struck by the tremendous work that Peter and his team has done, which will allow for a very thoughtful and intimate discussion on security challenges around the world. And I also like this opportunity to thank our local members of parliament from the area for hosting us once again. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll open up to questions. Reminder to identify yourself and your agency. And rebuttal questions are, of course, welcome, but let's remind ourselves that we hope to get to a second round. So go over here.
Michael McDonald, Canadian Press. Minister, are you aware of the Facebook post on the Okanagan Conservatives that refers to a Ottawa citizen story about the Canadian Forces flag in 2017 and makes a reference to you in the post? Can you comment on that, please?
When I saw that post, I was surprised and equally disappointed. This type of language has no place in Canada. I was heartened also at the same time to see that Conservative MPs have stepped forward, apologized, and denounced this type of wording and discussion. Because at the end of the day, this is not about me or our cabinet. It's about what type of message are we sending young Canadians, and especially here in Halifax. And we're going to be having a dinner tonight again at Pier 21, where Canada welcomed people from around the world. And in Canada, we can put hand on heart to say that regardless of where you might have come from, that you can reach the highest office of any profession if you work hard.
We've seen several apologies from Conservative MPs. What do you think the leader of the Conservative Party should do about this?
I think any leader in Canada should be doing is to making sure that we in Canada take a leadership role in promoting inclusiveness, making sure that all Canadians feel that they are safe and can achieve their potential. And that's what Canada is about. Our government will always aggressively promote diversity and inclusiveness, and we will not apologize for that.
What do you think this post says about the Conservative Party of Canada?
I was very heartened by some of the members of Parliament that have come to apologize. I know them personally, having worked with them in the House of Commons. Ultimately, it's up to the leader to take action, and for all Canadians. And because at the end of the day, we are all immigrants in this country, and it's only the First Nations, Indigenous peoples of this in Canada who rightfully can say that this was their homeland. The rest of us, whether you came 10 years ago, over 100 years ago, we were all immigrants, and I'm very proud of my heritage, and I want people from all Canadians, regardless of where they might have come from, to be proud of their heritage. But one thing that binds us together is that we are all Canadians.
You said that the leader should take it.
No, we'll try and make a second. We'll try and make a second round. If we can come over here with Mercedes.
Mr. Can I ask you for an update, Mercedes Stevenson, on, thank you. Can I ask you for an update on the troops in Mali? We don't hear a lot about what they're doing after the initial launch of the mission. How often are they out? What are they encountering? What are the challenges that they're facing?
First of all, I'm actually really proud of the tremendous work that they are doing. A high-level capability that the mission in MINUSMA needed. I don't have the exact numbers. They are active in terms of providing not just the medical support, but also logistic support as well. And in terms of the openness, we have journalists that are actually going and as part of embedded programs that I believe, and we look forward to making sure that Canadians know about this, because Canadians can be proud of the work that our women and men are doing on this mission.
How often are they out, though? Is it every day? Is it once a week? Are they getting a large number of calls? I don't think we have a sense of how much they've actually been active.
It's hard to. It's difficult to quantify in terms of what they do. I had the numbers in my head in numbers of how much cargo they've delivered, the medical evacuation that they have done. At the end of the day, it's actually a good thing if medical evacuation is not needed, but they have responded to certain missions, and they've done tremendous work every single time. How we have moved forward on this is not only looking at what the UN needs, but we've done it in a manner taking our experience from other missions and applied it to this mission, and it's working extremely well.
Chris?
Hi, Chris Hall from CBC. I don't know if I need this. A question for both of you. As you look at the agenda here, one of the big issues that has been discussed over the last several months is hybrid warfare, the Russians' use of new techniques in order to disrupt activities, including the most recent Trident Junction exercise. As you look at this particular meeting, how important is that discussion, and does Russia continue to be really the focus of what you need to do here?
I'll open it up. We in Canada are concerned about Russian activity. I mean, with the illegal annexation of Crimea, the actions that have been taken in Georgia, the disruptive nature that Russia has taken, it goes against the rule-based order that we are used to. And especially this year, after the 100 years of ending of the First World War, it's even more important now that nations act in a responsible manner, that we do not provoke. We find ways to resolve our differences, and that's what we need. But unfortunately, because of the action that Russia have taken, we do need to make sure that we send a very strong message of deterrence, and in NATO, we are doing that. We do have significant concerns with the disruption when it comes to hybrid warfare, the use of cyber against nations as well. In NATO, we are taking this extremely seriously. We're learning from the various missions that are ongoing, and in Canada especially, we're taking special focus on this, where we have created the Cyber Center of Excellence when it comes to cybersecurity, not just for government, but also for private industry, and we are also taking steps, working with Minister Gold on making sure that our democratic process is also protected.
Thank you, right here.
Oh, I just wanted, Peter had any.
Sorry, go ahead, Peter.
Thank you. I'm going to say two contradictory things, so if you're going to quote me, let me do the whole quote, because one doesn't go without the other. But Russia is a great country. It is a great country historically, but Russia is also a failing country simultaneously. And Russia is struggling with both of those things going on at the same time. We have a panel that will be tomorrow, which is Kremlin's Gremlins. And that talks about the tools, gremlins, that Russia is using. Because Russia doesn't have the same advanced tools that NATO has, that Canada and NATO and the American alliance has. And so what Russia is doing is it's it is using different mechanisms and tools to exert influence. And that is something that, I don't want to say it's exactly new, but it's generally new. And it's something that Canada's leadership, as the minister said, and NATO are working toward, because we do have to, we can't allow Russia or any other country to interfere in the domestic democracy's operations. But it's ongoing, and I do commend Canada on its actions. I think that it's very important to have several tracks of working with Russia, including taking a hard line on issues that are disagreed upon, and also talking to Russia simultaneously. Russia is, all you have to do is look at a map to understand how significant Russia is and how significant Russia is going to continue to be.
Thank you, Peter. Here.
Hi, sirs. Jim Garland with DoD News. Thanks for hosting this world-class event. Canada's always been a mainstay of the North Atlantic operations, and going back to 1918, the explosion in the harbor was from a convoy. I bet in the 40s, this may have been the busiest port in the world. The NATO has established a new command, and it's going to be in Norfolk. But I would imagine that this area is still going to be vastly important. I'm just wondering, how do you expect Canada to participate in that? And I have a follow-up.
Sure. We've been working very closely with NATO. making sure that we follow through with the decisions that our leaders have made at the summits, and we want to make sure that NATO is fit for purpose. We have done, I think, some extraordinary work when it comes to defense and deterrence, whether it's our enhanced forward battle groups, our work that we're doing in the Mediterranean, the Black Sea, the air policing, but also on interoperability. And so we are going through some of the command structures to making sure that NATO will have the right command structure, not only for today, but also that it will be able, that we will be able to evolve. We in Canada have stepped up significantly, especially when it comes to our naval presence, not just what we're doing with Operation Reassurance with NATO, but Exercise Trident Juncture, of what we've conducted there. But also, let's not forget some of the stability work that we're doing with our Navy in other parts of the world, whether it's off Carib, southern U.S., or in the Asia Pacific as well. And Halifax will play a very important role when it comes to a naval presence, because first of our Arctic Offshore Patrol vessel has been built. The number 2 and 3 have already started, and the new replacement for our frigates with the Canadian Surface Combatant Program will be built here, and there'll be 15 new ships, tremendous capability for our Navy, which will allow us to even do more with NATO.
Thank you. I think we have time for a second round. Going once? Yep.
Oh, hi, Mike McDonald, Canadian Press. On another topic, I'm wondering if you could speak to us about the notion that there probably will be a lot of discussion here and at the NATO Assembly about whether or not the United States remains a good ally to Canada, given the volatility coming out of the White House over the past 2 years. Could you speak to that issue and whether or not that will be something that will be a subject of discussion here?
It's sometimes there has been inconsistent messaging that has come from the White House, but one thing I can assure you, the work that we've been doing from a defense to relationship with the U.S., whether it's bilaterally, within the Five Eyes, and especially within NATO, it's actually had the message has been quite the opposite. We've actually done even more work together. Have multiple discussions with Secretary Mattis, and not only the reassurance that he has provided, not only in words, but more importantly in action. We're working together in Ukraine, and we work together in other parts of the world. So when it comes to the defense relationship, it is extremely strong. And let's not forget, the defense relationship between our two countries, or our relationship between our two countries, is far greater than any one government or administration. This has been built over decades of bilateral work. And let's not forget, and a reminder, that this is the 100th anniversary of the end of the First World War, where we stood together side by side, not only there, but many other conflicts. And that's how we in Canada define our relationship with the U.S.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. If you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to approach me, René Fiatro, or Shay Purdy, and that includes requests for interviews. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, everyone.